Okay, folks. Before I start part two, I just want to clarify some things. My COVID cough that went away literally in 2023. I don't know what I did differently. I don't know what happened, but that just random cough and being on those whooping cough scales, those that stopped in 2023. My wheezing, just randomly, just being short of breath for no reason, just that kind of went away after I started taking supplements on my supplement journey, along with the medications that I'm on now. Uh, do I still get short of breath, like if like working out? Yeah, that still happens, and I'm not sure if that's just age or that's really just a long COVID issue, but I will get out of breath fairly quick. But it is what it is. Um, One thing I didn't do is I didn't discuss in my COVID journey prescriptions or the names of the prescriptions I'm on currently, and the prescriptions I was on when I had congestive heart failure, and why they misdiagnosed me with, like, what led them to that misdiagnosis. So LSS, they thought both my kidneys were inflamed. They thought my blood sugar spikes was due to my kidneys being inflamed. They thought my blood pressure was due to the spikes in my sugar. Um, they also thought that I was heavily dehydrated, and they thought that well, they were right about me being heavily dehydrated, and I was very much so lacking in nutrients. I was very much so nutrient deficient. Um, and they thought the coagulated blood meant that I had a stroke. Now, whether or not I did or didn't have a stroke while beating COVID, I really don't know. They just strongly assumed yes. And the reason why I left that out, because I don't have any confirmation if I had a stroke. I really don't. I did not go see a doctor. Like I said, I caught this on into the second week of January 2021, and I did not see a doctor till July of 2021. So I really, they couldn't confirm it. Really, they just went with it. And coagulated blood and stroke, that can possibly be a reason. Um, Someone would have a stroke is due to the coagulated blood, but yeah, they just really couldn't. They couldn't rule it out, and they also couldn't prove that I had a stroke. So they put me on Lasix, LASIX, and that was supposed to take care of the lung congestion, the kidney inflammation, just overall inflammation in general. Um, and they also put me on. I'm reading notes right here, y'all, so I don't have to do a whole bunch of editing with my with the spacing out, because I honestly forgot most of what happened in the early beginning stages of them diagnosing me with congestive heart failure. They put me on enalapril for the coagulated blood, and then also for the blood pressure. They put me on a very low dosage of losartan, and I'm still on the losartan, but I'm on a higher dosage of it. I'll get into that. Yeah, but I guess when they did like because they do an ultrasound just to make sure that they're correct about your organs being inflamed. So I did an ultrasound on my gut, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional, but I would hope that the reason why they went with congestive heart failure, because, like I said, both my kidneys were probably inflamed because my liver was heavily inflamed, and I'm not sure. I'm hoping that through looking at the ultrasounds on my kidneys, that they were so inflamed that they thought that was the reason, and it wasn't my liver at the time. I have to hope that. I have to hope that. The reason why I went misdiagnosed for and they didn't they put me on uh I wasn't on a GLP-1 for my they didn't diagnose me with uncontrolled. They put me as pre-diabetic, so they gave me the statement of pre-diabetic pill. I forgot to look that up, but it was a very common pre-diabetic. But yeah, the reason why I went misdiagnosed for so long was because of one, I couldn't keep a job longer than 6 months. So 2021 on into summer 2022, I went through two jobs. Listen, I just couldn't focus on it. Like I really just couldn't focus on it. I don't know what it was. I couldn't. Well, I know what it is now. That's what COVID does. It gives you the brain fog. It messes with your focus, so you're not able to focus on something. And it wasn't because I was just so interested in work. I wasn't able to focus on TV, favorite TV shows, like okay, folks. I like that TV show Bosch. I really and truly just got all caught up on Bosch recently because, but and then the spinoff series on it because I don't remember watching any of it. Like I know I did, but I just complete lack of focus. One company they asked me the last one that probably fired me before I got this one now. They asked me to report into the office just because they thought that the reason I wasn't meeting expectations was because I just had poor time management, and then basically having me report into the office, they can micromanage me. In them micromanage me, they saw how often I would have brain fog. I would have literally just lapses of like dazed face, like really trying to come back to earth, come back to earth, come back to earth time. And I don't know if they thought I was a drug addict or a person who had a stroke, just wasn't saying anything. But anyways, the reason why they let me go because what was it? Uh, they found me dishonest. Yeah, they found me dishonest about my. That's what it would. That's what it said in the letter. They found me to be dishonest, and my dishonesty was causing me to not meet expectations. So, um, you can laugh to keep from crying, kid folks. But listen, at that particular point, that's when I became a YouTube University student, and I watched literally everything about how to maintain your or manage your brain fog if you're still dealing with it after COVID, or people with long COVID. That's the first time I actually seen long COVID, which was how to manage brain fog. Um, and honestly, all the YouTube doctors, you name them, I watched them, and I took away at least one trick, and when I got the job that I currently have now, I started using all those tricks, all of them, just to focus on my work. Just help me get through 7 to 9 hours, and honestly just not take care of my that's pretty much what it was, just not take care of myself, just make sure I had the job. Now as far as seeing those doctors in between those times, listen, I gave up because I knew I needed second and third opinions, but the insurance that I kept getting with these companies, like I would have to pay for the copay, like the full copay, and that's anywhere from like $150 to $200 just to get like opinions and then hope someone's opinion is actually right. And it's not seeing like one doctor, it's seeing like four and five different doctors, and that adds up. I don't have that kind of money, so I just stopped going to the doctor and just refilling my medications, just paying whatever was left over for me to pay for my medications, and I just coasted literally all through 2022, the rest of 2022, all through 2023. And then what I focused on, what I did was I moved, and then that's what led to me experiencing the apartment fire, which led me to like a dark depression, which led me to being intervened with by my dad, which led me to seeing the physicians and the whole medical staff at Piedmont Healthcare, which led me to here talking to y'all about it. So the prescriptions that I am on now is I'm on Mounjaro 7.5 mg. I'm on Jardiance 10 mg, and the reason why I'm giving the milligram dosages of those particular medications, because those are they are very much so complete controversial medications, because a lot of people think being on Mounjaro or Ozempic or any other GLP-1 is like cheating on losing weight. Sure. A lot of people think that people going to get Jardiance because all you have to do is be pre-diabetic and go to the right doctor. That's honestly probably a Jardiance consultant at that particular point. It is the medical industry. I said this last time. It's all time historically a scam. It is mostly you really have to find the hospitals that are trying to heal people, not to sell them, essentially be a drug dealer. We have to call it what it is. This is no slight to my medical professionals out there. Listen, we need y'all. We really do. Like I said, listen to the nerds, fund the nerds, just regulate them so we don't get Elon. But that's just no slight. But y'all have to admit that there are some hospitals, there are some um, medical doctors out there that are essentially drug dealers. You have to admit that. You really do. But back on Jardiance, you really just have to be pre-diabetic, and they'll like prescribe you like at least like 5 milligrams of Jardiance. And what Jardiance does is that it does manage your blood sugar, but it also does make it such that um, you don't crave sugar. That's why the health and wellness community says those two drugs are cheap drugs to lose weight. Now, the reason why I focus on that because I'm well aware. I told y'all before I started all this, went on this journey. I weighed 447 pounds. Where I have to be accountable for that, like I said, I chose financial stability. I could have went into debt and got second and third opinions about why I'm retaining this fluid. Am I really a person who is suffering from congestive heart failure? I could have did that a couple of years ago. I really could have, but I chose not to. Was I eating the best diet? No, and it wasn't that I was overeating or eating out all the time or just cooking whatever. It was just I was not eating at all, and therefore increasing my nutrient deficiency, which along with stress, which will cause you to expand. So stress weight and then retaining water, being poorly hydrated, intaking too much sugar. Now I will admit that I was drinking like not the diet sodas. Like I would drink like one ginger ale a day, and that's still like 33, 35 grams of sugar. I had to be accountable for that. Um, so when I say that I did weigh 100, not 100, 447 pounds, and since then I've lost, at this particular point, I'm down 140 pounds since I last recorded that. um, that's going to come up. They're going to say that, hey, you cheated. But whole while, the reason why I'm on Mounjaro is because it actually promotes curing or not. You can't really cure fatty liver disease. What you can do is you can get it to a manageable state where your liver is mostly healthy. So assisting the liver with the fatty liver disease, therefore it helps with your gut health. Therefore, it helps with your overall gut health inflammation. On top of that, it also does treat diabetes or diabetic spikes, so people with uncontrolled or type 2 diabetes. I had all that. Um, Jardiance, Jardiance, it does, like I said, it does rid your craving for sugar, but also it helps manage your blood pressure. It helps with coagulated blood, which I have. And it also is a diabetic drug, so a person with diabetes and high blood pressure, this particular drug will help them. Cool. I still am on, like I said, losartan, but I'm on a higher milligram dosage of that, and I'm on hydrochlorothiazide. And I do take a calcium pill and an aspirin, and I do have a inhaler. Those are the medications that I'm on. What helped me? Because the reason why I know that, oh my God, he just sounds so upbeat. People always say that. The reason why I sound so upbeat was because I feel like I owe it to that ER doctor that flat out told me this is where you can get help, and it was of no extra cost than going to the ER. And I feel like this is the only real way I can say thank you to that man is to get on YouTube to tell people to really research the hospitals in and around their surrounding areas. I know a lot of people live in rural areas. I know a lot of people live in areas where medical funding is being stripped away by this administration for whatever profitable reason they see be it. But still, just research around and find hospitals, find universities, find medical universities that are heavily doing active research on long COVID, because those those doctors will more than likely help you out more than your local medical facility, if it isn't one that is heavily doing research on long COVID. The C4 Cherry Jolly Rancher, listen, kin folks. Celsius use those damn synthetic sugars, those alcoholic sugars too, and they fake healthy too. They just don't spike your blood sugar, kin folks. Listen, just get something that tastes like something you can't have right now. Celsius tastes too healthy. Just get the C4. But the last thing I want to talk about is the actual consultation of properly being diagnosed with long COVID. I know this is a long video, but it's a lot I had to clarify from last time. Last time I had to get over myself and do the recording for the video, because it's putting yourself out there that you have a disease and you're managing it, and it's putting a name to a face, which can also be of negative impact to me more than it can sometimes be a positive impact to me. But the process was blood work, urine work, ultrasounds, stress tests, so heart palpitation stress test, breathing stress test, and then with endocrinology, just managing my overall hormonal status. And then constantly, every time I went to see a doctor, whether it was physician, endocrinologist, cardiologist. Oh, and I also saw a neurologist. Thank you. Just each time, it was like 2 and 3 visits. And each time I saw them, they asked me like a ton of questions. They went down my medical history. They asked me about everything within like the last 5 to 7 years. And based off how I answered the questions, based off the test results, that's how they were able to formally diagnose me with long COVID. What they did when I went to Piedmont Hospital is basically off those lab results, they were saying that I should come back and get actual formal testing for it, because it's a high chance that I do likely have long COVID. And it was very invasive. It wasn't easy. It was very nerve wracking, and I understand why it was, because this isn't the diagnoses that I have with long COVID is treating so many other things, but not necessarily treating COVID. If I'm making sense. Yeah, that makes sense, because it's a fatty liver disease. That's the main one. Overall gut health, inflammation of the gut, inflammation of the lungs, inflammation, not necessarily brain inflammation, but constantly like I see my neurologist like 4 times a year instead of recommended 2. Just continuing doing scans and overall lab work to see if I did have a stroke, to go ahead and then do another treatment or prescribe me. Unfortunately, it would have to be another drug for my coagulated blood issue. So it's treating a multitude of issues that isn't COVID, and that's the reason why I said there isn't a cure for long COVID. What you have to do is you have to treat the overwhelming amount of issues, health issues that contracting COVID gave you. Okay. Okay, Ken, folks. So, just a heads up, what I will be doing next is I will be doing some videos on my vision and dental procedures that I had to get done because of long COVID. Um, and I really do think that it's not going to shock people who are going through long COVID, but it might shock some of you that are just literally just watching this video just to get an understanding of what long COVID is, put a name to a face, and then again, like I said, building this community out. I am still working on the Discord server. Patience. Okay, kid folks?